Welcome to episode 2 of Garden and Table. So hopefully if this takes off, any seedlings and plants should be saved. This week we cooked a yummy curry and sausages. Had a wonderful little harvest from the garden. And I made our family favourite potato salad. So we've got some really strong winds coming up. And Powercall have sent a warning. So I thought, even though this is pretty anchored, I have lost them in the past to wind. So I thought, just in case, it's steamy in here, I might just move all these down to the bottom. So hopefully if this takes off, any seedlings and plants should be saved. Please don't take off. They need a water, but I don't have a moment to do that at the sec. Tonight we are having curried sausages, and what I've done to start with is I've actually boiled the sausages, because what happens is then you can remove all the skins. Fresh ginger and onion and garlic, capsicum and carrot, some celery, 2 Granny Smith apples, peas and 2 tomatoes. And a good drizzle of oil for the onions. So by adding the curry now, that should hopefully toast it a little bit. Apple, and then I'm just going to cover that with water, because I'm still going to have to add the sausages and the peas. And I'm going to put that on and just forget about it for a little bit. Alright, just adding some tomato sauce powder, a nice big heap. And I reckon something different. I'm going to add 2 beef stock cubes. These ones. Yeah.
Pizza bases.
Oh yes, that's another thing to put on there. As I said, if we have to rewrite it, it's fine, because then we can just recategorize it. You know what I mean?
Like we can make the pizza dough, roll it out,
Yep.
bake it enough so it's like a pizza base, and then wrap them in butter or whatever, have in the freezer, so you can whack it out, chuck the topping on.
And a bit out of the peas. That's nearly ready.
We can just take something sweet.
Bit of brown sugar.
Yeah. That'll work. Like it's good, but yeah, I just think it needs something sweet.
Brown sugar.
We're gonna put the apple in there too, but like.
Yeah, I meant to put a banana in too.
Oh.
But that's okay. Just some corn flour in there.
Right, back in a minute.
A bit of water. And mix till it's dissolved. Okay, this is looking really good and cooked. Tastes good. We've altered the flavours. Now I'm just going to add the corn flour sludge in, or slurry I think it's called.
Yeah.
And then we'll stir him through. And then in about 10-15 minutes that'll be ready. We're going to cook the flour in. See how it starts to thicken up already? That's why it's important to stir it as you cook it in. Are you helping? Yo-yo. Wow. You're noisy. Yo. It's like a fun one, isn't it? It's really good. It is. Okay, unsurprised. It's still standing. Thank goodness. Did a good job, Bri. Okay, so this didn't blow away, but all my shelves came off. And that could have been worse. Hopefully that tomato's not broken. So I've just been out harvesting some peas and some carrot. Or a carrot, little carrot. Should have left it longer. But these are shelling peas. There's still heaps more on the two big rows, 4 rows. And these elephant garlics going to seed, which is awesome. In about another day or two, I'll harvest them. They're the garlic scapes. And you'll be able to see more that's over in them ones too when I do that. Yeah, I'm really happy that my sage has really well and truly come back to life. Silver beet's looking good. Parsley's gone to seed. But yeah, these ones just appeared. I didn't actually plant them. And the rhubarb's going to town. 2 different types and varieties. But these garlics will take a lot longer because, you know, they'll plant it a lot longer. Yeah, and so far the hothouse is still standing. So with the peas, I've just put a clean tea towel in a bag and put the peas in there, fill them up, and I'll put that in the fridge because over the next week I'm going to have a lot more peas to harvest. And then once within a week, I'll shell these and then also blanch them to put in the freezer. So I have mixed a heap of seeds in here. I've got no idea what's what. I'm just going to do a tray and cheat and throw them in and have a surprise if they come up. The reason I have some mixed seeds is because I've had so many seeds that I've just held on to and I don't know when I bought them. So I figured it's time to use them up and start fresh next season. But yeah, just thought, let's see how I go. So I just sprinkled them over the top of this tray and then patted them down and then covered them again with a bit more seed raising mix. So I've just watered them and put them in the hothouse and let's see what happens. Hopefully we get some flowers. If not, doesn't matter. They can go into compost. But I was just having a look here. I can't see anything in that one. But I've got some zinnias coming up. Got some status coming up. And, more zinnias. The pumpkins are just being watered. They're looking better. And some tomatoes. And some cucumbers are looking a bit sad. They really needed water, but they're soaking in some water. I bottom water when they get to this stage. The dill's coming up. The seed that I saved myself and seed that I had that was old. Nothing in there yet. Sunflowers. Quite a few sunflowers popping through. And even more sunflowers on this side. Lots of sunflowers, and I don't know if I just broke that one, but that's okay. And all this stuff I still need to get in the garden. I've been wanting to put the zucchini and tomatoes in, but we've still been getting frost. I thought the frost was over and done with. However, we had frost this morning, and it looks like we're going to have frost again tomorrow morning. So, I think Thursday, I can put it in. So, this one's looking quite miserable. I'm really going to probably pull this one out. So, I'll just show you. If I dig down. Maybe. So they're only produced. They're starting to bulb up. Might try and leave them a bit longer. I don't know, but I'll dry that one out because even though they're tiny, they're going to be fine. They're fine to eat. They're still good. I just make sure I chuck them in the freezer. Them ones are looking better, surprisingly, considering it's really crappy soil. These are doing good. It's bulbing up. I'll leave that because he's not flopping over, but that one's flopping over. Who else loves to be able to hang washing on the line? I love this time of year where everything just dries nicely and dries all in the same day. You don't have to worry about the clothes dryer or clothes horses or anything. Just let the weather dry your clothes. So we've been umming and ahhing how to approach this with all the weed pressure. And after watching Urban Homestead Artist last night with Kayleen, she did the cardboard, then the compost and the mulch. And I think that's what we're going to do too, because we weren't sure which way to go about it. But after watching hers, I think, yep, thanks Kayleen. These are looking healthy. They're looking healthy. These, how bad we got to them. So I'm going to keep an eye on them. Probably going to have to harvest them this weekend. Damn it. But they'll still be okay. I'll show you here. Here's the scape. It comes up in the middle. And I'm just going to chop it off here. Got two there. And I doubt very much that any of these will scape. However, these two might. But I'm actually going to pull these out because then I can prepare this garden ready for the next lot of stuff to go in. Thinking beans here because I need to add more compost. I need to add more organic matter. And this is really sandy, this soil, so that should help anyway. So not heaps yet, not really long ones, but I didn't want to leave them any longer. But hey, I'll still preserve them. I'll chuck them in the freezer for now until I get more, and then I'll run them through the dehydrator and turn into powder. You can pickle them, you can fry them up, like slice them and fry them like you do garlic or onion. But they have an amazing scent. Smell so good. So I've decided, well, I've got a few minutes spare, I'm just going to come out and harvest the garlic that's no good. Well, it's not no good, but you know. But I get to use, for the first time, my new garden tool. How cool. So as I've previously mentioned, this garlic that I planted in this bed was just like the leftover cloves that I had. So I didn't mind, it was more of an experiment actually, so I didn't mind whether or not they grew properly or not. As you do when you're in the garden, you do a lot of thinking, and it's a really good relaxation time. So these ones here are all standing still, as are these. So I'm going to leave them ones in a bit longer, because you just don't know. It's worth a try, and there's one there too. But here's some to start with. Oh, them ones are all standing, minus a couple, so that they can stay. But yeah, playing with this soil though, it's really nice and sandy, and I think if I add some compost and some more manure and stuff, I think this would be perfect to actually grow some root vegetables. So carrot, onions, and see what happens with that. I'll see what other companions go well with them. This is the big elderflower that we chopped back not so long ago. I can't believe how much this has taken off since spring. So I've just come out to weed the garden, and I got a surprise when I went to pick up my hose. I got asparagus. I thought I killed it. I got a purple one too. Yay. Wow. Hopefully there'll be more popping up too. Wow. I'll leave that this year though. Okay, so I've got some work ahead of me this weekend. I really need to get these zucchinis in because they're huge. I'm going to chance putting the 2 tomatoes in that I've got, the marigolds. Really need the chamomile in. Celery needs to go in these. Capsicum. I might put in an up pot, I'm not sure. I need to get the onions in before I die. Time to put some of my sunflowers in. And these are little things, these babies. I still got a little bit, however, I might up pot the pumpkin. So be careful you don't disturb the roots too much because they will die. But yes, we're going to take this out because these peas aren't doing any good anyway. It's probably planted a bit late because there's another asparagus. So these can come out. I don't care about the peas. Not when I've got asparagus that I thought had died and hadn't. The roots were growing good. They could have maybe survived. I'll leave the other ones in. But this can come out. And I will use that for something else that needs help. Wow. Yes. 3. So I got a bit impatient and pulled a parsnip. They're almost there. Gonna have a few parsnip. I'm just really hoping some of these peas fatten up by the weekend as well, so I can harvest some of those. Oh, yes, we have flowers coming off the potatoes. Not flowers, leaves, growth. Yes. I do need to move that though. Look at that. And here I was worried about putting these shoots out. So I thought I'd show you just our little bit of decorations for Halloween for the trick-or-treaters. We're only in a little town, so we only had about, I think, 25, 30 trick-or-treaters, but hopefully we get more next year. Brian did well, putting his skeleton in and cobwebs up everywhere. But yeah, it was fun. So today it got pretty warm and I forgot to open the little door to keep some air coming into the hothouse, didn't I? No. This is what's happened. This is not the first time I've done this. I think I'd learn by now, wouldn't you? So I've let this dry out because I haven't been out here for 2 days and it's been really hot. And I didn't open this, but I've most likely killed most of these. However, I'll write some new tags and redo them again. That's not doing anything yet. These are doing okay. Ooh. Stand up, sunflower. But I've killed my dill. Lucky I've got tons of seeds of that. However, I have to get out tomorrow. I'm going to probably have to get up early because the tomato here is starting to wilt and go funny. Something's been eaten, the leaves, which if I came out here at night time, I could guarantee I'd find earwigs or slugs or snails. But I really, really, really have to get these, the zucchini in, and tomatoes in, and onions in. I've been waiting, however, for someone to finish weeding that damn garden. But he's now trying to deep weed it, and he doesn't understand that I'm now stretched for time, and I can't wait. And I know in the long run it's going to help, but right now it's not because things are dying. However, I might just have to toughen up and put it in here, eh? Need to harvest peas in the morning too. Oh, a neighbour a couple of doors up has spotted a brown snake today. I heard someone else in a shop say they spotted a brown snake today. So we definitely got to keep a good eye out, and we definitely need to keep this lawn under control. And all this crap needs to be moved. Just got to keep a better eye out. Well, someone likes this garden bed. I find in here a lot. There's a party going on next door. Here. So, I've been shopping. Got an eggplant, some basil, some jalapenos, big beef tomato, and a big pear, and then a clematis. Is that how you say it? And that's my dog barking because we've just come home. Okay, so I'm going to put in these tomatoes, the marigolds, the calendula, not calendula, chamomile, zucchinis, basil, maybe the jalapenos. And I didn't expect this. Look how big my carrots are. Wow. I've got some harvesting to do as well. But I can't video it because it's really hot out here. I think it's already 30 degrees. But I want to get them in the ground because it's supposed to rain tonight and the next few days. Okay, I was not expecting this today. Okay, so I've got to start with dinner, which I'm cooking potato salad, and then I've got to deal with all this. When I make potato salad, I like to use washed potatoes because I like to leave the peels on. So all I'm doing here is removing any little eyes or marks that I don't want on my potatoes. And I'm just giving them a quick rinse off before I put them on to cook. Because I've now got my tiered steamer, I'm able to put the eggs in another layer to go on top of where I'm cooking the potatoes. Now, if you haven't steamed eggs before to hard boil them, they come out so good, and they're easier to peel too. Not all these eggs are actually for the potato salad. I think I used about, 6 or 8 of them. But I boiled about 1.5 dozen because I also wanted to boil some eggs for sandwiches and snacks for the next few days. And as you would have just seen, I was also cutting up some bacon for the potato salad too. Now by this stage, they'd been cooking for about, 15 minutes for the potatoes. And I was just checking to see how they were, like whether they're tender enough. They were almost there, so I just sat the lid on and turned it off just to let it finish cooking just that bit further. You don't want them too mushy because when you mix them through, they will mash, and we don't want mashed potato. I kind of made a mess, but these got processed today or tomorrow. Carrots and parsnips are done. Still got to do the peas, but I've got to get onto this potato salad. So when you cook boiled eggs, another trick is to run them under some cold water to stop them from cooking. And I also learnt that when you boil them, you crack the shells and soak them in some cold water, and that will also help the peel come off a lot easier. So I just want to show you, these ones I froze for about a week ago. And they're still nice and crisp. But I'm going to chuck them in there. And that's my next job. So now I'm just cooking the bacon. I've got the potatoes cooling down in a big bowl. And I've got the eggs there. Once that's all cooled down enough, I add the bacon to the potato, and then I add some chopped up eggs, And here are the eggs that I've got left over, ready for the next few days. For the dressing, I use some whole egg mayonnaise and about half a jar of gherkin relish. And I mix them together in a bowl, and when you've got that little bit of mayo left in the jar, I add a little tiny bit of milk to that and give that a good shake up to get rid of it. But I also add a little bit of Vegeta to that jar as well to help mix it through well. I add some Parmesan cheese before I put the dressing in, and usually I put some spring onions in there, but I didn't have any. Then pour on the dressing. Use a nice big spoon to mix it all through, because I do it very slowly because I don't want to break up the potatoes too much. Alright, now I'm going to cook these for tea tonight to go with our potato salad and maybe a little green salad. It's smelling a bit spicy. For those that didn't know, if you shred lettuce and cover it with water in a container and put it in the fridge, it'll stay nice and crispy. Just thought I'd share that because there's people out there who wouldn't know that. A lot of you probably do, but it's a handy little tip. And there's always someone who wants to lick the bowl. And I forgot we had salad onion too, so that's on there. And two almost full, more full containers ready for the fridge, and that'll last for a couple of days. But, well, it'll last if it wasn't eaten, but it will not last in this household. And the leftover eggs. Ready for sandwiches and salads for the next couple of days. And there we have it. Our lamb koftas, our potato salad, and a yummy salad. I just gave these a quick wash, and I'm just going to let them air dry for a little bit, and then I'll put them in a Clip-Lot bag and in a towel like I did with the peas, and they'll keep in the fridge for quite a while. These I have not got around to finishing tonight, but I'll do them tomorrow night if I have to, and I need to still shell the peas and blanch them, but I don't have time tonight. Coming up next in episode 3, we find some awesome garlic in the garden. And due to the bad weather, we had to harvest a bed. And 21-month-old Eddie got to shell peas for the first time, and he had a ball. And needed to re-sow some seeds. And I'm Belinda, if you didn't know, and welcome to our eclectic life.